Hey guys, welcome back. As always, my name is Leyzar, and today, my friends, it's a fantastic time for Warframe. The Old Blood update has finally dropped, and honestly, I could not be more excited. I already got a couple of hours played, but before we go any further, pause the video, go start the download. You're looking at about 3 gigabytes plus, so depending on your internet connection, it might take a while. Now, with that out of the way, we're looking at 60 plus pages of patch notes. 60 plus, by the way, link in the description down below. So needless to say, I'm not going to be able to go through everything today. Instead, what I'm going to do is offer you guys a brief overview of the more important bits that we got with Old Blood. Now, this is brand new content, which means it's a little bit on the buggy side. It's not quite perfect just yet, so you should take everything with a grain of salt. And not everything is fully well known just yet, because there's so much things that we should test and check out. But with that out of the way, let's jump right into it. Let's begin with Grendel. Yes, how do you farm Grendel? From arbitrations. First off, you are gonna need a lot of Vitus Essence. How many? 75. If you don't have 75 Vitus Essence, well then get farming for the most part. Head on over to the vendor, scroll down to the very bottom, and you will see there are 3 keys. One for the system, one for the neuro, and one for the chassis. You're gonna need all of them. Okay, you can do them one by one. All of the missions are fairly straightforward on Europa, and as you can see, revealed sites on Europa are likely to contain Grendel part blueprints. Now the drop you're gonna get, okay, this is a guaranteed drop as long as you are successful in your mission. So Grendel is pretty simple to get. Now, speaking of new additions, you also got this, the Ayatan Zambuca sculpture. Honestly, I don't get the point of this, outside of that it's very pretty and it costs 50 Vitus Essence. So for the time being, I'll give it a hard pass. As for Grendel, my friends, as a first impression, sure, he's fun and he looks very, he's very round around the corners, if you know what I mean. Now, let's move on and talk about the brand new kitty, the Vampire kitty. Now, you have a couple of options of getting this one. The first way you can do it, well, you gotta get one of your Kavats, either a Smita or another Kavat, and at dusk, head on over to the Plains of Eidolon. You're gonna have to look around and locate a pack of these brand new Vampire Kavats. And you have to get your cat bitten multiple times and she will get infected, after which she will transform into a Vampire Kitty. Or better said, a Vasca Kavat. Now that's one way of doing it. If you are impatient, if you don't want to wait and all whatnot, then what you can do is head on over to the market and buy a kit. It's not cheap, but again, if you're not patient, if you don't want to head on over to the plains, if you just want it as soon as possible, you can buy a Vasca Kavat starter kit, and this one will include 10 Kavat genetic codes. Oh yeah, of course you're gonna need the genetic codes as well. You're gonna need the power core, you're gonna need DNA stabilizer. Actually, you don't need stasis slot. You need just to put your current pet into stasis. You need the genetic code template. No, you don't actually need this one either, but you do need this. Basically, this is the important part, the 2 Vasca imprints. Now, of course, you can already buy these imprints from the trade chat from guys that already have the Vasca Kavat. So again, if you don't want to farm it, but my friend got his Vasca Kavat in about 30 minutes, give or take. So there you go. It didn't seem to be all that difficult. As for the Vasca Kavat, well, I got it here. She's a beauty, but she's a little bugged. At least for me, she was a little bugged. Her ability to res you doesn't seem to be functioning all that often, sadly. And she's not interactable directly on your ship, like walking up to the pet and pressing E to like scratch her. Like, doesn't work for some reason. But again, the content is fairly new, so I was expecting some bugs. Of course, you got some brand new cosmetics for your pets as well. Now, let me give you a very quick look at the actual abilities of the brand new pet. By the way, they reworked this, so you got your Warframe, you got your companion, and you have your gear loadout, and of course you also have your Arcwing loadout as well, so now it's a whole lot faster to access these. Again, we're looking at a lot of changes. As for the 2 brand new mods, well, Transfusion, when its master is bleeding out, so at the bleeding out phase, the Vasca Kavat sacrifices 20% of its health to raise them, and this happens instantly. Okay, there's no giant cast like you have for the Sentinel with sacrifice, for example, but keep in mind that this does have a cooldown. From what I understood, it's a 90-second cooldown, but you don't get the cooldown anywhere. Not on your buff bar. You cannot track it, at least not at the current time. I'm sure it's a minor oversight on the part of the developer. And the second one is Draining Bite. Vasca Kavat's bite deals 400 damage and restores 10% health to itself, because it's a vampire and all whatnot. Now, this is cool, don't get me wrong, but I mean, are we gonna give up on Smita? You know why we use the Smita, right? Because of the buff. Because of Charm. Unfortunately, the Vasca Kavat cannot use Charm, so I don't know. It's cool because it's a vampire cat and it can res you. So, there you go. It's a first impression, again. Well, that's pretty much it for Grendel and the Kavat, how you actually get them. Again, the process is fairly simple and straightforward. Now let's talk about the biggest portion of this update, which from my point of view is the Kuva Lich system. Now the Kuva Lich system is similar to the Nemesis system that you might be familiar with from the Lord of the Rings games. But let me show you. I think that would be a whole lot easier. Next to Nightwave, you will see this brand new button. It's your Kuva Lich. Okay, this will be your Arch Nemesis. You can only have one at a time. And of course, from what I saw so far, most people are asking, hey, how do I get one of these guys? Well, I can tell you how we got them. Very easy, very quick. You just head on over to navigation and just go to Adaro, my friends. Sedna, Adaro, it's a simple exterminate mission. Go solo, go to party. Actually, you know what? Go solo. Go solo, and when the Kuva larva shows up, it's gonna be one of those run-of-the-mill normal Grenier worker dudes. You just take him out and then he will get transformed into a Kuva Lich. As soon as you get back on your orbiter, your screen will turn red and he will start to taunt you. And he gets quite annoying. Of course, he will have different strengths and weaknesses. For example, mine is weak to corrosive and cold damage, but has a resistance to viral damage. The weapon he's using is also here, the Kuva SHILDEG. Now, this is a brand new melee weapon, and you can flip him around if you so desire. The weapon bonus is 35% impact. The birthplace is Adaro because that's where I took him out initially, while using the Grendel Warframe. That's why the progenitor is Grendel. Now, one more thing. You see, he has abilities. Carapace, Leash, Lich Stomp, and Teleport. And you also see on the right side of the screen you have known Requiems, and Requiem attempts are tracked here as well. Now in order to take out one of these Kuva Liches, you're gonna have to use a brand new weapon in Warframe called the Parazon. Everybody has it by default. Okay guys, so everybody has it by default. If you don't know where to look for it, simply head on over to your arsenal at the very bottom. Here it is. It does have appearance, you can make it look all pretty and all whatnot, and it is moddable, but you don't need to install a networking catalyst into it. For example, you have the mod Intruder by default. 8 seconds to hacking. Now, we're going to be using the Parazon from now on from hacking. The hacking animation has changed. Now we just stick it into the console and we start hacking. And as you can see, you also have some very interesting mods for this weapon that is used to take out those Kuva Liches. For example, this thing. Check it out. The Yahoo. I don't know, Yahoo, whatever. Corporeal laws are unwrit as sons and love retreat. They're like this. Like all of them are like this. And you're gonna have to use specific mods in order to be able to take out your Kuva Lich. And the more you pester your Kuva Lich, the more you get progression on your Kuva Lich, the more info you will get about these mods and which exactly do you need to use to actually take them out. And of course the next question will be, okay fine, where do I get these blasted mods? Well, you got brand new relics. Yes, we got brand new relics as well. The brand new relics can only be obtained from Kuva Siphons, from what I understood, and not only Siphons, but also Kuva Flood. So for example, you got the Kuva Fortress here, so if I go on Eris, I got one Siphon, and I should be having a Flood somewhere around here as well. You want to do the Floods, because the Floods have a much higher chance of dropping one of these relics. Okay? The Siphons only have a 30% chance from what I understood to drop one of the brand new relics. Now let me show you the relics. So again, you do either Kuva Siphons or Floods. Prioritize Floods. I know they're a little bit more difficult to pull off, level range between 80 and 100, but they're definitely worth it because you get a higher chance of dropping one of these relics. What relics? The Requiem Relics. You see, you got a brand new filter up here. You got Requiem 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We already opened one, Requiem 2, and in these relics you will find the Riven Sliver, a fragment of a Sundered Riven. It is known that with enough slivers, Paladino is capable of reforging a complete Riven. Self-explained for the most part. You can get Kuva, you can get Amber Star, you can get these new mods. They are silver drops, so uncommon, and the rare drop would be the Pexilus Weapon Adapter Blueprint. For this one, you're going to need an Orokin Cell, an exceptional Sentient Core. Hopefully by now you guys also have a ton of them, a Forma, and a bunch of credits. And of course, this ties into another brand new feature in Warframe that also came in this patch. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff, which is why we're doing an overview. So again, you're gonna have to get all of these mods. From all of these relics, of course, each of them has 2 mods. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 2, that's 10 mods. It's not gonna be that difficult to get all of them. And they are tradable as well. So again, if you can't be arsed to farm, just simply go to trade and want to buy whatever you want to buy. Now that said, back to Kuva Lich, because this requires some additional explanation. You see this guy is annoyed with me. You have this bar here and it's about 20% filled up with red. Now in order for me to annoy him further, that would require me to go into missions into his area of influence. Where are his areas of influence per se? You gotta look on the map and see where are the red blobs. Down here. In my case, it's gonna be on Uranus. You see, got a 1, 2, 3 missions. Now, if I was to go into these missions, and let's just go into one. I think that would be simpler. I can go for the CHAKKHURR controlled territory, go into a defense. I can go regular, or I can go into the syndicate mission. During this mission, I'm gonna be running across some of his lieutenants or thralls. Basically, these guys are the direct henchmen of my arch nemesis, so I need to take them out. And in order to take them out, things get a little bit different. Now, I'm not gonna waste too much time, but I do want to show you guys. Just find some of these thralls. After you kill them, in the sense that you bring them down to 1 HP, you're gonna have to use your Parazon on them, and you do this really... Look, there's one. Perfect timing. So here he is. Oh no, he's so ugly. He's a thrall. You see that? He's not dead. I go close. Let's do it from behind. And I press X. And I do this fancy animation and I take him out. The more I do this to his lieutenants, you see that? My loading bar going further and further. The more and more he gets pissed off with me, the higher the chances of him showing up in my mission. Now, I don't know right now how to mod my Parazon against him because I don't have the necessary information, but the more I progress further towards making him spawn and trying to take him out with my Parazon, the more info I will get, and I will eventually know exactly what mods to use to take him out. And of course, when you take him out, you have an option, right? You can take him out and take his weapon. For example, I do want that meaty weapon, so that's what we're gonna be doing. But you can also choose to make him your follower. There's another one, and we basically keep doing this. Now, if I abort this would actually be a good test. I'm wondering if I abort the mission, will I still maintain the progress I made with these guys? So again, this guy is out. Get close to him, take him out. Fantastic animations, absolutely freaking beautiful. Now let's see. If I abort, do I get to keep my progress or not? That would be something. You keep on doing this until he spawns. You try to kill him. If you can't kill him, if you can't take him out, you can also choose to befriend him and he becomes your follower. That's again totally your option. But if you cannot kill him, then that means you do not have the appropriate Requiems equipped on your Parazon. So let's see, did that. So we did get to keep the progress, and as you can see, this symbol showed up here. This is the exact same symbol I have on my Parazon mod. The only one I got now, this one, okay? It's the exact same symbol, so it's gonna be able to track exactly what I need to do to take this guy out. And well, my friends, that's pretty much it for a Kuva Lich overview. Again, there's a lot of weapons for you to sink your teeth into. For example, let me show you the one that I'm most interested in. This one. Now this, my friends, is a sniper rifle. Check out the base critical chance. 50% base critical chance with a critical multiplier of 2.3x. That is absolutely freaking beautiful. By the way, mastery rank 15. 27% status chance. The only problem I see with this puppy, impact and blast. Impact and blast, and of course I'm thinking about Eidolon hunting. So I'm definitely gonna look for a Riven on this one. It's called the... CHAKKHURR. I give up. The Chak. We'll just call it Chak for short, but as you can see, this is just one example. You get the Dubba Stubba as well. That's Axe Stubba, Kuva Seer, Kuva Kraken, a whole bunch of brand weapons. And that's pretty much it for Kuva Lich. Again, this is a brief overview. I'll bring you guys a full and detailed tutorial after we get all the patches to fix all the little bugs that appear here and there. Now, what else we got? We got the Titania Deluxe, my friends, and of course this is cosmetic, so entirely up to you since it's subjective, but I thought I should show it off. I spent about 5 minutes on making her look like this. This is the Titania Deluxe, and the pack comes with attachments as well. But again, this is a cosmetic. We got the Vauban and the Ember reworks. Now I played Ember for about 30 minutes. Okay, an hour actually on stream, and I got a really decent feeling for her 4 ability, the brand new Meteor from the Sky thing. It's absolutely insane, it's so satisfying to use, and it deals a whole lot of damage. With a minimal build, I was able to one-shot level 60s, 70s bombards while doing a Kuva run. Now let me show you exactly what I mean. This is not the build you should be using, okay? I'm not saying use this build. This is something I use for testing. This is my old Ember build from back when I was, well, totally noob. Okay, so even with a mech build like this, with a power strength of 253%, I was able to one-shot higher level enemies. I'm talking level 60s, 70s, just by pressing 4. If you play around with her second ability, then it's all the better. But again, I am interested in bringing you guys a full and detailed build guide on Ember. For Grendel, I need to play him a bit more. My first impression is that he's not really my thing, but it doesn't mean it can't be your thing. As for Vauban, definitely want to take a look at him as well. And I think that's pretty much it, my friends. The last thing I wanted to talk to you about is a brand new mod slot for your primary and secondary weapons, not for melees just yet, because, well, melee 3.0 is still not here. This is melee 2.9, and we're going to talk a little bit about that one as well. As you can see, you got a brand new slot, and I can install the Pexilus adapter I had, and now I can install one additional mod. What mods works? Stabilizer, Vigilante Supplies, Eagle Eye. As you can see, quality of life mods. In this case, what I can do is go for something like mutation, right? Ammo mutation. So I can go for a rifle ammo mutation. Now in my case, this one will not line up exactly because it's a V symbol. Now, as you can see, my Ignis Wraith has been formatted 8 freaking times, and I'm gonna have to format probably one additional time. I don't think, might I? Let's see if we're actually able to, if the polarity doesn't exactly line up with what you have. Nah, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. So on some weapon build guides, I am going to be updating them where I feel it's absolutely necessary. Again, it's a brand new mod slot on all the weapons. It can bring a little bit of power in the right build, in the right circumstances, and so on and so forth. For example, you can go fire rate on a weapon such as the Ignis. Now you can get a whole lot more fire rate and use a rifle ammo mutation. That way you're not locked into using something like carrier and ammo pads. Again, it's just an example. I'm still thinking about it. But again, your options on the brand new mod slots rather limited. You can't put whatever you want. So there you go. On some weapons, it's probably not going to be worth to actually unlock this slot and pay 20 plat for it. You can pay 20 plat to unlock the slot, or if you have an adapter that dropped from the Requiem Relics, you can just use that one instead. And the last thing which I briefly want to touch up on is melee update 2.99998. This is phase 2 of the melee 3.0 rework. So it's not fully melee 3.0 just yet. It's just the second phase. Meme Strike. Yes, everybody loves Meme Strike. Meme Strike was an easy way to absolutely murder everything. Let's be honest. It took very little effort and it was very, very efficient. But now... Oh, wait. Meme Strike. Now it's not as powerful as before. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not completely dead, but it doesn't have the power it once had. As in, up until 5 hours ago. 150% critical chance for slide attack. Yes, but the functionality of the mod has been changed. Before, it was a bonus additive after. Pretty much how Arcane Avenger works. It doesn't care about the base critical chance of your melee weapon. It simply added 90% critical chance on a slide attack. So even if your weapon had 0% critical chance when you slided with that weapon, it would have went up to 90% critical chance. That's why Maiming Strike was so powerful. That's gone now. The 150% that you see now on the mod applies to the base critical chance of the weapon, just like any other mod. It's not special no more. It's over. It's gone. Goodbye. Let's talk about range on melee weapons. As you can see, finally we get to have range in the stat screen. I wanted this for such a long time. I honestly did not understand why the hell are we not getting range on the stat screen. So that's fantastic. Now take a look at Prime Reach. It used to be 165% range, something like that. Now you get +3 fish. No, +3 meters. The point is, we're moving away from a percentage which would increase the base amount of range on the weapon. We are now getting a fixed amount, and that will help weapons that did not have a high amount of base range by themselves. For example, do you guys remember the Cronen Prime? Yeah, almost nobody uses it anymore. Why? Is it not good? It's a fantastic weapon, but it did not have one very important stat. It did not have high base range or even decent base range. So it was not worth modding for range. It was that low. 165%. When the base range is 1, you just get 1.65 meters. It's not worth modding for it. That's why the Cronen Prime and a whole lot of other weapons slowly and surely kind of faded away. If you don't have range under your weapon, let's be honest, we're not really gonna use it all that much, are we? And the Grand Locktian here also has 3.5 range, so you see you have the example of a Riven and the example of a normal average everyday mod. So it's important to take this into account. Yes, it does hurt the weapons that had a high amount of base range by themselves, okay? Because if you take something that has like, I don't even know. This one has 2.9 base range. That's pretty good. In this case, it would have been a whole lot better to get 165%, because if I pull out my handy dandy calculatio, we get 2.9 plus 165%, if I remember right. And now it will come to 7.6. Oh, actually 7.7. Right? And if I just add the brand new range mod, well, the old range mod but reworked, now I'm just going to 5.9 versus 7.7. So you see, it does help out some weapons, but of course it is detrimental to other weapons. And we're not gonna go too deep into the brand new melee update. Again, the patch is freaking... I have never seen patch notes this long before. Again, link in the description down below. I'll bring you guys a full build guide if and when I feel comfortable with all the changes. For now, we're gonna be leaving it at that. Again, you got plenty of brand new things in Warframe right now, my friends, so jump right in, get the patching, and I hope you have enjoyed this very brief overview. Please keep in mind that this content is still super fresh and not everything is known just yet, because again, there's a whole lot of stuff to go through and test. As always, my name is Leyzar. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, favorite, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. If you got any sorts of feedback for me, by all means, I would love to read it in the comment section down below. And please remember to take this one with a grain of salt. Until next time, my friends. Bye-bye.